evening. Welcome to Republic TV. I'm Ridhuman and Bhardwaj. Viewers, we're going to be showing you 1 year of the October 7 massacre when Hamas killed 1,200 people in Israel after bombing them. It was brutal murder. We show you today unaccounted tales of horror of October 7th. First up, a look at our top headlines. It's 1 year since October 7 massacre by Hamas in Israel. Over 1,200 men murdered, women, children brutally murdered, many raped, over 250 were taken hostage, 35 killed, while 101, including 7 Americans, are unaccounted for.
Even long before October the 7th, 2023, Lebanon has been always under the violation and attack and threat of Israel.
Lebanon's ambassador to India, Dr. Rabie Narsh, makes the biggest declaration from Hezbollah push back to India as peacemaker. Stand by for that all-tell-all interview.
We are committed that NRC will not only be conducted or prepared in Santhal Pargana, we want to do it for entire state of Jharkhand.
Assam Chief Minister reiterates commitment to NRC, says it will be implemented soon in Jharkhand.
अगर हमें जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ी हम तब भी लेंगे, क्योंकि अगर हम लोगों ने चलना है इकट्ठे चलना है। इस रियासत को बचाने के लिए हमने सबने कोशिश करनी है।
And ahead of result day in Jammu and Kashmir, PDP and NC hint at alliance. Because 1 year ago today, the world watched in horror as unspeakable violence tore through innocent lives. October 7th will forever be etched in our memory as a day of heartbreak. 1,200 men, women, children brutally murdered. Many more endured unimaginable trauma, raped, terrorized, torn from their families. Over 250 were taken hostage, and to this day, 101 are unaccounted for. They look at hope, they yearn for their return. Amidst all this darkness, there are those who survived, who bear the weight of these memories. Today, we are now joined by Alan Neer-Am, one of the survivors who's lived through this nightmare. Alan, as I thank you for being with us, it's your strength, your courage, that's a testament to the human spirit. We are deeply moved that you're willing to share your story with us. Thank you for being here. I was earlier looking at what you've stated. At 6:30 a.m. October 7th, what were the events that unfolded?
Thank you for having me, first of all. And we are the one that got lucky. I mean, in my kibbutz Niram, there was an attempt to get in by the terrorists. And at 6:30, we had hundreds of sirens and rockets. It was a Saturday morning and a holiday in Israel, and nobody thought that anything like that could happen. And in a minute, we were in the safe room with my 2 kids, my wife, and my dog. And we sat over there, and then in a minute or two, we understood that it's not like a regular rocket Qassam attack, because we heard gunfire. We have like rifle and live ammunition shot very close to us. So something was very weird. And then there were also kind of explosions that we didn't find familiar, because we had gone through dozens of rounds of like these terror attacks or war, but it was nothing like it. And then electricity broke down, and the phone line, the cellular phone, also broke down. The last thing that we heard is that our mayor, Ophir Lipstein, was murdered, and that was like letting us know in 1 second what's going on. We didn't understood the whole blown event, but we understood it's something completely different. It was in Kfar Aza. My parents-in-law, my father and mother-in-law, are in Kfar Aza, and there are people that are over 80, so we were very worried about them too. And after the phone and the electricity stopped working, so we were like 18 hours inside the safe room in Kibbutz Niram. We didn't know if there are terrorists in the kibbutz or outside, and we didn't know what's going on. It was very difficult to get outside because you didn't know if it's safe outside. So we just waited it. What was actually happening is that our security team in the kibbutz managed to close the gate. I mean, they put off the electricity to the gate and the whole kibbutz. And by that, they saved us all, because in that matter, the terrorists had like a 4 hours gunfight in the front of the kibbutz, but they weren't able to get inside, not like in other kibbutzim. So 2 soldiers were killed in this gunfight, and eventually they found like 45 terrorists in a building very close to the kibbutz that were eventually killed. But it was like the most difficult 10 hours of my life, or even 15 hours, because we thought there are terrorists in the kibbutz. We were locked in a very small room, with a safe room. We did get out to get some water and food, and after like 6 or 7 hours, we understood there are no terrorists in the kibbutz, but nobody could be accountable. So everybody stay in the safe room and wait it out. And in that, when the electricity came back, we understood about the atrocities that happened in all of the kibbutzim around us and in Sderot and Ofakim. And we were terrified about the fate of my mother and father-in-law, where eventually they are okay and rescued. And we had like very big miracles on that day, but thousands of others didn't. And many, many good friends died, and friends of the kids, age 14 and 16, died. And it was a very traumatic event that we will carry out for the rest of our life.
I agree. It's something that you're going to be seeing and hearing, Alan. It's shattered lives, scarred souls. We're looking today at the biggest escalation, massive escalation in this West Asian part now. I want to ask you, what about your friends? Did you have any, were there any survivors? Do you know any of the hostages that were taken? Anything that you come to know about any of the people who were actually taken hostage?
Yeah, I know one of the hostages is a husband of a friend of mine from the college that we both worked in, so I know her. And I do know almost all of the families, but not the specific hostages. Also, one of the friend of my kid, a girl, was hostage, and she was freed like 3 or 4 months ago. So everybody, it's a very small area relatively. So everybody knows someone over there, and it's really the most difficult thing that we have hostages and people that are suffering for over 100 hostages that are suffering for over a year, and Hamas is not willing to do anything, any kind of like a deal or ceasefire or we are happy to give them back some of the terrorists and to get our brothers and sisters back, but there's no one to talk to, and it's a lot of pain to the family and the whole region. It's very difficult to get back to life when part of you is still over there. So we pray every day so they will get free and the hostility will be over. Of course, we also want to win the war. It's very important that we win the war, and we will have a lot of years of silence because this region is very like left-wing, and our kibbutz and our place and home was always open to our neighbors. But we now understand that they are not our neighbors; they are our enemy. We wanted to see them as neighbors, but for now it's very difficult to do so because we did the disengagement and we gave territory and we gave work to people over there, and the same people took part in the attack and gave intelligence to people who to find in the kibbutzim. So it's really a big shatter of a dream of the area of peace and coexistence, and that's very sad.
I thank you for being with us. You've highlighted what Israel has been going through for a year, and we're all hoping for peace in that region. Thank you, Alan, for sharing your story with us.
For your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Viewers, we also now show you from October 7 massacre to Hezbollah pushback, and now India being thought of as a peacemaker. Republic speaks to Lebanese envoy to India, Dr. Rabie Narsh. Watch this exclusive tell-all interview.
We're speaking on 7th of October, a year back when Israel saw this dastardly attack that took place. Questions were essentially being raised about how exactly does Lebanon really look into this entire matter? Does it really condemn the issue? Or is it time that we do not have different definition of terrorism?
Thank you, Shawan. Nice meeting you, and you're always welcome. Greeting to you and your viewers at Republic TV. Today is the 7th of October, as you said. It should be a wake-up call for the world to work for justice and lasting peace. It should be a call to say to the oppressor, enough is enough. To say to Israel, enough of occupation, enough of humiliation, enough of destruction, enough of wars. Israel, since its creation, has been encroaching on its neighbors' borders. The creation of Israel itself has been, unfortunately, built upon colonization, have been built upon illegal settlements and bloodshed. Today should be a call for the United Nations to work harder to ensure that there should be a lasting peace in the Middle East, to implement the resolutions of the United Nations, which Israel has been refusing all along its history. The most important of which is the resolution of two-state solution, to create a Palestinian state, to live in peace with Israel, but to give Palestinians their dignity, their future, and to look forward to live at peace within a secure border.
But Ambassador, counter to this, what the Israelis essentially say is that they have nothing against the people of Lebanon. In fact, they say that they want peace to prevail. Having said that, they say that their existence is a threat, and that is the reason why, perhaps in order to save themselves, this is a must.
This is not true. This is completely false. There are many points in your question. Let's start one by one. The notion that Israel has been under threat from its neighbors, this is completely false, and it is vice versa. The neighbors of Israel has been under threat, under continuous threat, since the creation of Israel. Israel has never assigned a border. Till now, Israel is a state without borders, because they have this expansionist doctrine. They have the war mindset, and they never accept or adhere to international community's will, to United Nations resolutions. Israel is the only, or maybe the country who has most refused and abandoned all its obligation towards the international community and refused all the United Nations resolutions. So coming back to Hezbollah, that differentiation that they said they are at fight or at war with Hezbollah and not the Lebanese, this is absurd and nonsense. When it comes to occupation, there's no difference in Lebanon between Hezbollah and any other Lebanese. And by the way, Hezbollah is a Lebanese party, and they were only established after the invasion of Israel to Lebanon. Hezbollah is a reaction to the aggression of Israel against Lebanon in 1982. Hezbollah was established after 1982, in 1985 formally. It started in maybe 1982 as a reaction to the Israeli invasion into Lebanon. And again, we should all know that the resistance, Lebanese resistance, started long before Hezbollah was born. So it's not like only Hezbollah is resisting Israel. Maybe currently they are the strongest resistance group that are fighting the aggression of Israel, the daily aggression of Israel. But then again, Israel may be led to the creation of Hezbollah because of its continuous aggression, because of its invasion to Lebanon in 1982, and the history of attacking and violating Lebanese territory, Lebanese airspace, and Lebanese sea borders too.
Ambassador, that remains the biggest dichotomy, the biggest debate as to how do you really see Hezbollah. as a political party, of course, with the kind of representation that it has in the parliament in Lebanon, with, if I'm not wrong, with almost 13 parliamentarians, of course, they have the right to exist. The biggest dichotomy is, can a political party also have a military wing? Across the globe, there is no such precedent. So don't you believe, because there are voices within your own government who are against the idea of an armed militant organization? As a political party, yes, but not as a political party armed with guns.
Shawan, you are a adroit journalist, and you know very well that international law guarantees the right of every occupied people to resist their occupier.
Right.
So the resistance is legal resistance to any occupier. It is armed or unarmed resistance, but any oppressed people, any occupied people has the right to fight their occupier. This is what Hezbollah is doing. They are, yes, represented in the parliament and in the cabinet and in the administration. When it comes to the framework of domestic politics, Hezbollah function as a function according to the established rules by the Lebanese political system. So there's no issue with that. When it comes to resistance, then they are armed group to resist Israel, who is occupying our land, who is attacking us on a daily basis. Even long before October the 7th, 2023, Lebanon has been always under the violation and attack and threat of Israel.
But Ambassador, a different situation altogether, because this is again a version within your own government. Many would say that would it not be better if the Lebanese army really takes on, rather than having a non-state actor, rather than having the Hezbollah taking over? So much so even various US administrations supported the idea. In fact, as I understand, President Obama was willing to equip the Lebanese army. Of course, there was resistance coming in from the US Congress. But having said that, wouldn't it be much better for the Lebanese government to perhaps disarm and ensure it is done through the government and not through an organization like the Hezbollah?
It is priority. So before disarming Hezbollah or whatever, we want a guarantee against Israel that they will not attack us and they will not encroach into us. We see what they are doing to the unarmed people in Gaza. We see their massacres, their Holocaust, their war crimes. Who can guarantee this will not happen to us? And it's not true that because Hezbollah is there, Israel is attacking Lebanon. No, Israel is attacking Lebanon, like I told you, even before Hezbollah. So yes, it is better, of course, to have a Lebanese army only defending our borders. Right. But we need a guarantee that that Israel will not attack us on a daily basis. And like I said, it is the right of any people to resist Israel. Popular resistance is legal. So it's not only official resistance by the army. When your army cannot, and we know and we admit, it's not secret that Lebanese army cannot face Israel. We don't have the technology and the heavy bombs that the United States is providing Israel with. Israel, without the backing of the United States and the West, they are nothing.
But what if the guarantees come in? Because in the past we have seen the US has been perhaps inclined towards equipping the Lebanese army.
No, that's not true. That's not true, I'm sorry to say. But the unconditional support by the West, especially the United States, to Israel is wrong. And this has led us to what we are now, what we are seeing now. Not holding Israel accountable for its war crimes, for its genocide, for its history of bloodshed, for its occupation, has led us to what we are experiencing right now, to the devastating wars and chaos in the region. Israel should be stopped. This doctrine, this twisted religious doctrine of chosen people and promised land, we are living in the 21st century. We should go beyond the religious myths and falsehoods of, like I said, of twisted religious doctrine.
Biggest political debate on the eve of results. Status quo for the BJP or rout in Haryana? Which way would Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir swing? Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
But when you say that it's a very compact country, this compact country has created waves in the entire world with the kind of defense it has. And also, now that a few days back, we were talking about Nasrallah's assassination. The Israelis got him. Another, Hashim Saifuddin, was made the Hezbollah chief. They've got him as well. So now, what everyone is looking at is who's going to be the next target? What is Israel going to do? Because do you think that the bigger retaliation is still yet to come?
Oh, yes. So let me just fill in the blanks a little bit there. So they were able to take care of that. 97% incoming Iranian projectiles in April were shot down. 97%. But the worrying part, which very few people gave attention to, was that 3 to 4% of the Shahab missiles with the heavier warheads did get through. 5 of them got through on the Nevatim Israeli airbase, and at the Ramon airbase they got through 5 to 7, which cratered the runway and which hit some of their storage facilities. This was blanked out, and everybody tried to say, hurrah, that we've done it. One of the reasons for the Americans trying to emphasize that, it was a dud, nothing really happened, was to see that Israel wouldn't respond very strongly then. And the Americans were able to put the brakes on Israel, and they just made a token response on one of the S-300 missile batteries. Now, what has happened since? Before we go on to prognosticate about the future, what has happened since? Israel has destroyed the Hamas. They have virtually decimated the Hamas organization. Their 5 brigades, they have been destroyed. Their leadership, more or less, has been neutralized. And the whole of the Gaza Strip is one big heap of rubble. Right? Next, they turned the center of gravity towards Hezbollah in the Lebanon. Right? And by a combination of intelligence operations, you see, you mentioned how they got Nasrallah.
Yes.
Top target, top leadership. So they went in for command and control attrition, right? They hit the top 7 leaders of the Hezbollah, right? And with a series of, they hit them with bunker bursting bombs, 80 tons of bunker bursting bombs to make sure that there was no chance of survival.
Yes.
Not a bit of chance of survival. They killed Hassan Nasrallah. Then they started preemptive attacks on the rocket launching sites, on the missile launching sites of the Hezbollah. Before they could fire them, they sort of attacked them and destroyed a large proportion of them. So with this massive barrage of airstrikes and very accurate, amazingly effective intelligence operation, to include on 17th and 18th September, the pager attacks, the walkie-talkie attacks, which killed 35 and wounded 3,000 of the top leadership and communication people. Those who were handling the pagers, those who were handling the walkie-talkies had their eyes blown out, half the faces blown out. So you were able to totally blank out the Hezbollah communications, create chaos and demoralization in that organization, right? And that is the time that the Hezbollah started crying to Iran, ki you are supposed to be mere aaka, mere ko bachao. It was as simple as that you are letting us get destroyed. And the Hezbollah, we were hoping, we were anticipating that they would react very strongly. They have 150,000 rockets, guided, unguided, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles. So we thought they would fire 1,000, 1,500 a day. That was the military anticipation. But they just fired 200 to 300 rounds a day. They were curiously restrained. And the reason is not far to seek. Their communication network, their command and control apparatus had been ruined, destroyed.
Hamas did on October 7th was storm Israel with all their abilities at one time. One thing they did is fire rockets, north of 3,000 rockets in one day, enormous amounts, and also use different types.
This is Republic Cucina Studio, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news and updates. I'm Samisha Srivastava and let's get started.
When you say that it's a very compact country, this compact country has created waves in the entire world with the kind of defense it has. And also, now that a few days back, we were talking about Nasrallah's assassination. The Israelis got him. Another, Hashim Saifuddin, was made the Hezbollah chief. They've got him as well. So now, what everyone is looking at is who's going to be the next target? What is Israel going to do? Because do you think that the bigger retaliation is still yet to come?
Oh, yes. Let me just fill in the blanks a little bit there. So they were able to take care of that. 97% incoming Iranian projectiles in April were shot down. 97%. But the worrying part, which very few people gave attention to, was that 3 to 4% of the Shahab missiles with the heavier warheads did get through. 5 of them got through on the Nevatim Israeli airbase, and at the Ramon airbase they got through 5 to 7, which cratered the runway and which hit some of their storage facilities. this was blanked out. And everybody tried to say, hurrah, that we've done it. One of the reasons for the Americans trying to emphasize that, it was a dud, nothing really happened, was to see that Israel won't respond very strongly then. And the Americans were able to put the brakes on Israel, and they just made a token response on one of the S-300 missile batteries. Now, what has happened since? Before we go on to prognosticate about the future,
Right.
what has happened since? Israel has destroyed the Hamas. They have virtually decimated the Hamas organization. Their 5 brigades, they have been destroyed. Their leadership, more or less, has been neutralized. And the whole of the Gaza Strip is one big heap of rubble. Right? Next, they turned the center of gravity towards Hezbollah in the Lebanon. Right? And by a combination of intelligence operations, you mentioned how they got Nasrallah.
Yes.
Top target, top leadership. So they went in for command and control attrition, right? They hit the top 7 leaders of the Hezbollah, right? And with a series of, they hit them with bunker bursting bombs, 80 tons of bunker bursting bombs to make
is not a tragedy. It is actually a state-sponsored murder, a state-sponsored disaster for which the DMK government, the chief minister, is directly responsible.
BJP DMK spar over Chennai air show deaths as BJP calls it a state-sponsored murder.
We are committed that NRC will not only be conducted or prepared in Santhal Pargana, we want to do it for entire state of Jharkhand.
Assam Chief Minister reiterates commitment to NRC, says it will be implemented soon in Jharkhand.
अगर हमें ज़रूरत भी नहीं पड़ी हम तब भी लेंगे, क्योंकि अगर हम लोगों ने चलना है इकट्ठे चलना है। इस रियासत को बचाने के लिए हमने सबने कोशिश करनी है।
Ahead of a result day in Jammu and Kashmir, PDP and NC hint at alliance.
न भारत के हिंदुओं को खतरा है, न भारत के मुसलमानों को कोई खतरा है। हाँ, एक खतरा भारत के मुसलमानों को, हिंदुओं को, दलितों को, आदिवासियों को, सिखों को, ईसाइयों को है। वो किससे है? नरेंद्र मोदी और मोहन भगवत से खतरा है।
Bhagwat urges Hindu society to unite for security. Meanwhile, AIM-IM chief fearmongers as he alleges threat to minorities. CBI files charge sheet in the RG car case. Sanjay Roy accused of rape and murder. And there's a blast near Karachi airport killing 2 Chinese nationals. Suicide bomber has been identified. Viewers, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat has now called on Hindu society to unite for the security of the nation, emphasizing a collective approach for India's strength. Meanwhile, AIM-IM Chief Asauddin Owaisi accuses Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bhagwat of posing a threat to minorities, including Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Dalits, sparking a fresh political controversy.
कि भारत के 78 करोड़ हिंदुओं को खतरा है। सुनो मोहन भगवत, न भारत के हिंदुओं को खतरा है, न भारत के मुसलमानों को कोई खतरा है। हाँ, एक खतरा भारत के मुसलमानों को, हिंदुओं को, दलितों को, आदिवासियों को, सिखों को, ईसाइयों को है। वो किससे है? नरेंद्र मोदी और मोहन भगवत से खतरा है।
Let's also get in a reaction from Alok Kumar, the VHP chief, to get and understand what's been said here.
Right now we are being joined by Alok Kumar, President of VHP. Mr. Kumar, RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat has said that and has called upon the Hindu society to unite by eliminating their differences on languages and caste for their own security. How do you see that?
I do not know who would dispute it. The Hindus should shed the forces that divide them. Then they should remain united to face whatever challenges are from around the world. We are living in a difficult situation. Russia and Ukraine are fighting. All the Shiite forces and the Hamas is fighting Israel. Israel is fighting against them. Our supplies, particularly of the oil and gas, they come from those countries which are in difficulty. Tomorrow's times may be difficult. So asking to synergize, to unite, to work together is a very timely call, and we all should endorse it.
And some reactions also coming in from the Muslim side. Listen in.
मोहन भागवत ने आज इस बात को उजागर किया कि तमाम जातियों को छोड़कर सबको एक हो जाना चाहिए। और ये जातिवाद का जो मामला है ये मनुस्मृति से उछला है। मनुस्मृति में साफ तौर से जातिवाद को जिस तरह से वर्णन किया गया है उसको धर्म से जोड़कर देखा जाता है। आपने खुद मनुस्मृति को पढ़ा होगा, देखा होगा, मोहन भागवत भी जानते होंगे। ब्राह्मण, क्षत्रिय, शूद्र, वैश्य, ये जो जाति वर्णन है मनुस्मृति में, इसके बाद भी क्या ये कहा जा सकता है कि सब लोग एक हो जाएं? मैं समझता हूं कि ये एक होने वाला चैप्टर है ही नहीं। दूसरी बात ये है, इस देश में जैनी अलग है, सिख अलग हैं, ईसाई अलग हैं, पारसी अलग हैं।
Viewers, our next story is going to be a top debate with our editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami. The counting days for Jammu and Kashmir elections will begin tomorrow. Ahead of the big day, all the big parties, the BJP, the Congress, the PDP, the JKNC are in a huddle. The PDP has hinted at an alliance with JKNC and Congress, whereas Farooq Abdullah has said it would be great for an alliance if PDP joins it.
मैं आपसे कहता हूं, अगर हमें जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ी हम तब भी लेंगे, क्योंकि अगर हम लोगों ने चलना है, इकट्ठे चलना है। इस रियासत को बचाने के लिए हमने सबने कोशिश करनी है। ये बड़ी मुश्किल में है ये रियासत, और काम बड़े सख्त है। यहाँ के बच्चों का हाल देखिए, पढ़े लिखे, सबसे बड़ी बड़ी तालीम है, दर बदर, महंगाई आसमान पे है, ड्रग मैनेस जो आज देखते हैं आप, उनकी हालत देखिए, सारे ठेके बाहर वालों के, आप रेत का एक चम्मच नहीं निकाल सकते।
Meanwhile, Union HM Amit Shah held a high-level meeting, and in that meeting it was discussed with top-level BJP leaders discussing and trying to get in a sense of post-poll scenarios. The Jammu and Kashmir BJP chief Rabie Narsh ruled out any alliance with the PDP. Instead, he said they are ready to join hands with independence.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी को विश्वास है कि जम्मू कश्मीर की जनता का जबरदस्त समर्थन भारतीय जनता पार्टी को ज़रूर मिलेगा। जिस प्रकार मोदी साहब की जनसभाओं में, अमित शाह साहब, जेपी नड्डा साहब और हमारे राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व की जनसभाओं में ज़बरदस्त जन समर्थन हमें मिला है, मुझे विश्वास है कि बीजेपी सबसे बड़े दल के रूप में जम्मू कश्मीर में उभर कर आएगी और भारतीय जनता पार्टी और बीजेपी के समर्थन से जो इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट्स चुनाव लड़े हैं वो जीत के आएंगे और हम मिलकर सरकार बनाएंगे।
Viewers, a massive political furor now broke out after a stampede at an air show in Chennai's Marina Beach, leaving 5 dead. The BJP unleashed a no-holds-barred attack on the ruling DMK, accusing it of state-sponsored murder. The DMK, however, blamed the incident on Rush, claiming all necessary arrangements were in place to ensure the safety of those attending the show. Amid the mounting grief, the anger over the deaths that's being blamed on poor crowd management, on extreme fatigue, DMK leader TKS Elangovan makes a shockingly insensitive remark, saying it's not possible for the government to arrange water for everyone at the show. Watch this report.
A bitter political war of words broke out after a stampede at a Chennai air show claimed 5 lives. As the kin mourned the dead, the BJP lashed out at the ruling DMK, accusing it of state-sponsored murder.
The tragic death of 5 people and more than 200 people being hospitalized in the Chennai air show is not a tragedy. It is actually a state-sponsored murder, a state-sponsored disaster for which the DMK government, the chief minister, is directly responsible.
This air show is happening after 21 years at the Marina Beach in Chennai. I mean, the state government should have known that it was going to draw large crowds and they should have been well prepared to handle the situation. The government was facilities and the government arrangements was not up to the mark and they mishandled the situation very, very clearly. And the DMK government should and is answerable and accountable to the people of Chennai and Tamil Nadu.
The AIA-DMK also demanded the resignation of Tamil Nadu Health Minister M.A. Subramanian in the wake of the deaths.
There is any element of conscience with the health minister, or if he has got a little bit of shame, he should resign immediately rather than lying in front of the media. This even clearly exposes not only the mismanagement, misgovernance and lack of planning. This is not the first incident. Last year there was an A.R. Rahman show. Even the chief minister's convoy got stuck. This shows how management expertise are there with the DMK.
However, the DMK accused the opposition of politicizing the deaths, claiming that all necessary arrangements were in place. In a shockingly insensitive remark, DMK leader TKS Elangovan said that the onus isn't on the government to arrange water for those attending the show. As the opposition accused the government of poor crowd management, the DMK blamed the deaths on the rush and the apparent haste of the attendees to get to home.
Sometimes this happens. Beyond the expectations of the government, whatever the government does, even they cannot provide water bottle to everybody. It has not happened during the show. It has happened only when the people were coming out in a rush.
Meanwhile, in a shocker, the Congress blamed the Indian Air Force for the deaths, claiming it has plenty of unaudited funds that could have been used to cater to the needs of the attendees.
Our Air Force having unaudited fund, unlimited fund, everything.
But the responsibility of giving water, why do you put it on the Congress?
This is the
Why do you put it on the Air Force? I'm sorry.
No. I am not fixing anyone. That is the government responsibility. There is no doubt about my responsibility, your responsibility, everyone's responsibility. What I am telling? We request to the Tamil Nadu government, we formed one commission.
Okay.
Where was happened the failure? Where was happened the flaw? Where was happened the technical problem or failure? We want to inquire and bring notice to Tamil Nadu people. This is our request to Tamil Nadu government.
However, when confronted by your channel, the Congress's Tamil Nadu chief admitted that the government was at fault. As the political slugfest gains ground, the big question is, shouldn't the Stalin government take responsibility for the stampede and deaths and issue a public apology?
Viewers, politics intensified in Bihar over former Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Yadav's bungalow. The BJP alleged Tejasvi Yadav took away expensive items from the government bungalow that he vacated. Remember, Tejasvi vacated the Deputy CM's bungalow located at 5 Desh Ratna Marg on Sunday. Watch this report.
Politics has intensified in Bihar over former Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Yadav's bungalow. After leader of opposition Tejasvi Yadav vacated government bungalow at 5 Desh Ratna Marg, the BJP has made a loot charge on him.
निश्चित तौर पर जो संबंधित अधिकारी हैं
और भवन निर्माण के जो अधिकारी हैं वो जो भी सूची है उनको दी गई है। और भवन निर्माण ने इस बात की पुष्टि की है, मैं आपको ऑन कैमरा बता रहा हूँ कि जो सरकारी चीज़ें थी यहाँ पे, जो सरकारी संपत्तियाँ थीं, वो आज नदारद हैं।
This after several items were found missing from his bungalow. Taps, sofa, plants, air conditioners were found missing. BJP has alleged that house items like the basin, bed, bulbs were allegedly swindled away. The BJP accused Tejasvi Yadav of taking away furniture and fittings while vacating the government bungalow. Republic brings you this report from inside the bungalow.
तेजस्वी यादव ने उप मुख्यमंत्री बिहार के लिए ईयरमार्क बंगला जो है खाली कर दिया है। मेरी मौजूदगी उसी बंगले में है और अब ये बंगला जो है बिहार के उप मुख्यमंत्री सम्राट चौधरी जो कि बीजेपी के नेता हैं उनके नाम से अब अलॉट हो गया। हमारे साथ उनके सहयोगी मौजूद हैं, शत्रुघ्न जी जो उनके प्राइवेट सेक्रेटरी हैं, दानिश रिजवान है बीजेपी के प्रवक्ता हैं। इन लोगों के कुछ आरोप है इस बंगले को लेकर। पिछले बार भी जैसे 2017 में ये बंगला तेजस्वी यादव ने जब खाली किया था, महागठबंधन से नीतीश कुमार अलग हुए थे, तब सुशील मोदी को अलॉट हुआ था। सुशील मोदी उस समय जीवित थे। सुशील मोदी का हमने इसी बंगले में इंटरव्यू किया था, घुमा घुमा कर उन्होंने दिखाया था कि कैसे बंगले से सामान गायब कर दिए गए थे। इस बार सुशील मोदी तो नहीं हैं, हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं सुशील मोदी के ही सहयोगी, अब सम्राट चौधरी के सहयोगी हैं, सुशील मोदी के पूर्व सहयोगी शत्रुघ्न जी हैं। शत्रुघ्न जी, इस बंगले में आप लोग क्या आरोप लगा रहे हैं?
नहीं, मैं आरोप नहीं लगा रहा हूं, आपको वस्तु स्थिति से अवगत करा रहा हूं और आप कैमरे से देखिए, ये देख लीजिए यहाँ का पलंग गायब है।
As of now, the building's construction department has taken over. A list of all missing items is being prepared. RJD spokesperson, however, defended Tejasvi, saying all items were personal and do not belong to the government.
ये बपौती है का इसका खनसामा का? ये भवन निर्माण विभाग का है ना, इनकी बाप की जागीर नहीं है ना, किसी की बाप की जागीर नहीं होती है। ये जो है संपत्ति शासन की होती है, तो इन्वेंटरी जारी करने का अधिकार उसी को है, तो इन्वेंटरी जारी करे।
But Tejasvi might still have to answer to the BJP's allegations.
Viewers, the BJP has claimed about 20 lakh people in Punjab have been converted to Christianity. Manjinder Singh Sirsa named people like Prophet Barjinder Singh, alleged that the SAD shared stage with them. Sirsa is also claiming that the Punjab government was not doing anything of the matter. Take a look at this Republic exclusive report.
The BJP has made a big charge of minority appeasement in Punjab. BJP leader Manjinder Singh Sirsa said around 20 lakh people in Punjab have converted to Christianity. The conversions were especially in districts like Amritsar, Gurdaspur and Phagwara. Sirsa named people like Prophet Barjinder Singh, saying they are behind the business. He claimed they are making fake promises to people that they'll get a visa for Canada. The reason, he said, was to get foreign funding. Republic spoke to the BJP leader.
More than 20 lakh people, especially in district Amritsar, Gurdaspur, Jalandhar, Phagwara. These districts are more affected districts of Punjab. Every day, thousands of people are converted, and publicly on stage. Particularly, if I talk about a gentleman who is doing this, they got a full support from outside India.
His sentiments were in fact echoed by the National Commission for Minority spokesperson. Iqbal Singh Lalpura said that there has been a spurt in conversions in recent times.
So there were efforts to convert Sikhs to Christianity since 1850. It's a very old concept. Then Maharaja Dalip Singh was converted to Christianity, and after that Sardar Harnam Singh Ahluwalia was also converted to Christianity. Now again there is a spurt in law provides right to religion, but there should not be any deceitful conversion. We have received certain complaints also, and we have referred that complaints to the state government of Punjab.
The question is, will Punjab government address the allegations of conversions under his watch? Biggest political debate on the eve of results. Status quo for the BJP or rout in Haryana? Which way would Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir swing? Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
Real Madrid bounced back from their first defeat in nearly 10 months by securing a 2-0 victory over Villarreal in La Liga on Saturday. But the win came at a cost as key defender Dani Carvajal suffered a serious ACL injury in the game. Federico Valverde and Vinicius Jr. were the goal scorers, helping Madrid remain unbeaten in 41 consecutive Spanish league matches. The defending champions, who had their 36-game unbeaten streak across all competitions, snapped by a 1-0 loss to Lille in the Champions League just days earlier, showed their resilience by claiming 3 important points. With the win, Madrid kept a pace with Barcelona at the top of La Liga, as both teams now sit on 21 points. However, the joy of victory was overshadowed by Carvajal's injury in stoppage time at Santiago Bernabeu. The 32-year-old right-back went down in visible pain after a challenge with Villarreal's Yeremy Pino, clutching his knees before being stretched off the field in tears. Carvajal, a vital part of Madrid's defense since his promotion from the youth squad in 2013, was taken to the hospital and later confirmed that he suffered a serious ligament injury. Carvajal shared the news with the fans on his Instagram and confirmed that he will be going through surgery. Real Madrid star Federico Valverde also showed his support for the Euro 2024 winner. Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti revealed post-match that it is a big blow for Real Madrid. Dani Carvajal is one of the most important players in Real Madrid and the team's second captain after Luka Modric. Ancelotti further threw shade that the growing amount of injuries in La Liga is due to the tight schedule. The injuries shocked both fans and players alike, with teammate Jude Bellingham particularly vocal in his frustration. The English midfielder confronted Pino immediately after the incident, voicing his disapproval of the late-game challenge. Bellingham was caught on camera saying to Pino, "You cannot go into the match in the 93rd minute, with the result already decided." With Carvajal's injury now looming over the team, Ancelotti will have to consider his options moving forward. Lucas Vazquez is the backup right back, but Carvajal's experience and leadership on the field will be tough to replace. For now, the victory is bittersweet as Madrid's battle to stay on the top of La Liga continues.
Big stir over Bhagwat's call for Hindu unity.